Hello, Cancer, to another timeless reading of yours. This is a love variant reading, so whatever wants to show up in regards to however active or underactive love may be in your life, we're here to talk about it. You also may be here for Cancer being in your Sun, Rising, and or Jupiter position. If Cancer is found in your Moon, Mercury, and or Venus, you may be in search of emotional redemption. I will ask that you check out the description box below to get to my sister channel. Over there is timeless content to assist you. Excuse me. Please know I am Master Seventh, who reads these energies. I am a master healer wherever you are in the longitude and latitude of this global earthly realm. I can assist you as well as offer any type of tarot reading that you might be in search of or don't even know. In the description box below is the best way to find a means of booking with me via the email address. It is probably the best route at this time. Alright, Cancer. Please know that these are past, present, or future energetical timelines that could always come forth. And gender is in feminine, masculine energies are non-gender specific, so take the messages as they may resonate. This is a general collective reading, so this is not a personal reading. Everything may not apply to you. Something came down heavy just now. Alright. Before we get started, please remember to like and or subscribe if you haven't done so already. Alright, let's get right into it. We're going to see what's in the death position for Cancer. Death position for Cancer. I'm getting a lot of downloads that it's not up to par. It's not the best that you can do. All the work that you've put in the last recent years, this is not the best way to behave. This is in no way your highest form of vibration, the highest way that your highest self can operate. You can do better, I'm hearing. I wouldn't be surprised. I was just gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if a Tower moment came out. Just kind of like see if Cancer will knock themselves into place again. I'm seeing a Cancer that's trying to be a Hierophant. I'm just gonna leave the message where it is. It will resonate for those who understand that. Alright. Alright, let's try this again. What's in the death position for Cancer? Juicy showing up to a sick mess channel and getting the fucking card of justice for the universal justice energy that she is. All right, it's coming down. I said something's coming down, and the universal justice card is here. It's kind of like a Tower-ish moment. You know, wherever you are in a state of wanting to accept this type of energy is how much chaos this energy can actually provide to you. You could either be in a level of truth and have learned a lot, spiritually very resound here, with this figure being the silhouette, indicating a completion of understanding aspects of their shadow selves, which is an aspect of their whole entire self. Someone that has been standing in truth, within truth, immersed themselves within the truth. And then if you take a little closer look to how this person is sharing their viewpoints, their life, that's where they're coming off as a Hierophant. You're acting like a teacher when you're still a student. You're still a student trying to understand the miraculous ways between the conversation and the language between the sun and the moon, the stars, the solar system. Fuck, I don't want to say it, but but this is where it's like I don't want to say it. But the whole conspiracy topic of like, is Earth flat or not? It's hard for this energy to want to immerse themselves and find the truth of how flat Earth is. Now, some of y'all are gonna like click out because y'all think I'm like a flat earther enthusiast. I don't really give a shit about what anyone thinks. I love science. However, I'm also very keen to understand the science, the gift of the higher spirits for us to make sense of. All right, so whatever we're making sense of, they've already made sense of. So it's really not up to my interpretation whether my little argument, if the flat is global, if the Earth is global or if it's flat. Like I don't care. I truly don't care, and no one should care, because universal justice is going to come in and make sense of whatever we need to make sense of in order to accept the world that we are walking in. So it's fucking relative perspective anyway. This card is in the death position, so this is a time to repent. Okay, it is a time to confess thy sins, Cancer. Because y'all know what I mean, and I don't care if it's for 0.01% of the audience. For those of you who are dabbling into these energies and think that you are a master behind the Hierophant energy, you are gravely mistaken. Because for that, you don't have a 360 understanding of your shadows and what they really are asking you to do, because this isn't about moving forward in the way that you preach light to be and then keep your shadows in the fucking dark. That's a big no-no. That's not universal justice. Shadows want to be out in the fucking light. Shadows are beings of energy, controversial or not. They shake things up. They're very strong. They're very impactful. They allow the good things that you attract and want to keep to come, and also to leave. So it would make sense to have a good relationship with one's own shadow self and entertain them, so you can use those assets in the light to have a better sense of control with how long true loyalty can stay in your life, because you have a better understanding how to operate in truth. Crazy. All right, let's see what's happening. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see what's happening. King of Wands, passion. Yeah, I mean, Cancer, y'all have gone through so much. Like that little ego of inertia inside you, that thing, oof, it's just powerful. Whether you're angry, whether you're hungry, whether you're passionate, like that's that mini emperor energy that is ready to fucking go. It's on go time. So whether sex is really good because you're on go mode and you really can get out that passionate, juicy energy and really let go, or if you have that one person coming into your life that triggers that part of you, which makes it really fucking hard to let that person then physically go, because this person is triggering aspects of yourself that not a lot of other people can actually trigger within you. So there is a strange and a false sense of loyalty being developed, because you're loyal to the emotional detox. You're not loyal, and that person is not loyal to the flesh that allows them to have this emotional detox. For that, this person or this energy is emotionally unavailable. Coming in and out of your life, has another life, has living a double life, and you know of this energy because this is where you've asked your version of God to make sense of this reality. And so because it started to make sense of your reality, you believe that this is your destined path. Because you got the go-ahead, the yellow light from your God. Yet it's a yellow light. It says proceed with caution because you can get hurt, and you know this because the situation at hand has you always being hurt in one way or another. So the question is, if that's the case, do you really think it is of the highest version of the vibration that is equal to your God? Because if it's not, and it ain't, what the fuck are you doing? Are you blaming yourself or are you blaming other people? It's a blame game. And it's a very passionate blame game as well. So the passion here has allowed you to get very fucking hungry, have a lot of sexual relations with individuals, even if it's just one person. It's a continuing cycle, all right? If it's multiple people, it's a continuing cycle. You're really good with your money, but the money isn't growing in an exponential form with the power that you could actually make your money grow. You really good at making the facade of your life really fucking deliciously admirable and charming, for like Facebook, for social media, for like the lights and love and light people. Like, you make that shit look beautiful. But if you have one person in the crowd that's a little edgy, like, I promise you, you're like not gonna have dinner with this individual, but you really learn to like be admirable to this type of energy, but this type of energy would not want to have dinner with you. And you realize that, and it's kind of making you annoyed. And what it's triggering is the inner envious part of you, because you envy someone out there in the crowd being like edgy and pulling it off really well and being divine at the same time, and it's throwing you off that someone can be edgy and walking with divinity and you can sense it, while your life in secret is chaotic and you don't even know how to expose a little bit of it and still be divine. I mean, if y'all understand this, is because you're divine individuals and you're starting to be too immersed, let's put it that way, in how loud the trauma is for keep putting yourself in karmic cycles. Because as a divine individual, knowing self is the number one reason why you can consider yourself divine. Because you won't allow anyone to define any aspect of yourself. That gets triggered only within thyself as yourself. Even if you got an external source of trigger to get you to start thinking, that thinking isn't getting done until you allow that thinking to get done, even if that trigger was an outside source. So total control of self is the ultimate way that energies within this reading understand what it means to have some form of connection with their God, whomever it is. And bringing it into the social justice of the everyday life is still very difficult for this Cancer, because there are cancerous shit in the background that the Cancer themselves are still battling on how to weave successfully into the light of their existence, So that way, let's say the audience that has been admirable to the light aspects of themselves would also honor the edgy aspects of themselves. The person is completely afraid to be all aspects of their true nature, which is fucking weird to the eyes of the universe here. Alright, let's see what happened. Okay, I'm still going. The setup here has me like a little nervous. Anyway, so let's see what happened. I can't stand the folks that like dived into tarot and then now are talking shit about tarot. Like, I'm totally okay with y'all leaving my channel. Alright, 8 of Wands, speed. True universal justice don't give a shit about people's emotions. Alright? And it's very hard for Cancer because Cancer is very emotional. It's the sign of unconditional love. Like, the way you express the nature of love is very tied to being able to have that needle and thread to always bind people together. And that's a very charming character to be, and a personality trait that really is important for the rest of the signs to learn about and cross in their paths and build a relationship of some sort of another, because you really you do this charming thing of this Cancerish energy of taking the emotions of the water and then exposing them out into terrain, which is land, right? Going back and forth from water to earth energy. And being able to do that allows the hope that water and earth can have a harmonious relationship with one another and doesn't have to be all muddy and swampy and gucky, and like there's beautiful things that can come from the relationship of the two elemental journeys, even if it's just staying on terrain for a little while and then getting exhausted, going back into the water, detoxing themselves. Being in the water too long, you know, when you shower too long, when you're swimming too long, you turn like a little prunish, you know, so you get out into the fucking terrain again and you dry up again. So there's a symbiosis to the relationship that happens with however long you can be immersed in this environment. And when you have the ability to choose for self, that's when you increase the speed for how something can be there for you or leave you or come to you. Like, you are in charge of that. Your ego is in charge of that. And that's the speed of the 8 of Wands, making that clear, because that's in your what happened position. So this is all the past energies that didn't really make sense, but it's keeping you, because it's such a strong decision with passion that you've made. It's a hard cycle to not only see when there's an opportunity to exit the cycle, but to also remain outside of the cycle and allow the new cycle to kind of catch up and gain its own inertia. Because it's a new cycle, it's just trying to build again. And that waiting period, Cancer's having this fickle attitude about, because they're unsure whether or not they would be patient for that. Previously in their life, when they were patient, they were alone. Now they are not alone in a concept of fulfilling that, but they're afraid to still address the other aspects or similar aspects to that fear of being alone, with the risk that whatever they have now that makes them feel a bit not alone, that it would leave. And that's unfortunately a cycle that Cancer really needs to wrap their mind around, with the understanding what full loss is. some of y'all have lost individuals, like they are no longer around, and they're no longer, well, not no longer around, but they've transitioned and are no longer in this dimension. And that has built some sort of awareness that life is not eternal. Like the life aspect of flesh is not eternal. Yet when you stand on the truth of following the wisdom of whatever God you follow, it's that permissible engine of acceptance that there is eternity regardless within this cyclical cycle that seems to have an end, that there is an eternity to this cycle. And that's the truth to kind of bring out to the equation of real life, real talk, real truth shattering, real looking into people's eyes and telling them the truth. Not telling people on social media the good shit, but also being like totally entitled to say and share the negative shit that you know is not gonna get a like. Like, that's important, way more important for the universe now moving forward, to understand what you, the human, wish to have a better relationship with whatever God it is that you follow or don't follow. All right, let's see where to look. Where to look. Two of Wands, planning. The point of the anger of the universe is not to feel that what you've been aiming towards is wrong. It's who you've been aiming towards that's wrong. Not what. So the what is good, the who is not. Alright, because the who, that's a mystery. It's not the person that you think. There's a lot of false twin flame energy here. This is a hopeful twin flame. This person is endowed with the passion of what twin flame is, and has categorical subjectified all the reasons and checkmarked off all the boxes as to how an individual is the twin. And that's a false state, because that checkbox can only be done through the higher self of this individual, this Cancer. And so that will mean the decisions and the checkboxes will not be done by your physical flesh. You will not sit down and have to validate and search for anything with the 2 hands, 2 feet, the mind that you have to make sense of this twin flame. That's not real twin flame. That's false twin flame. It doesn't mean that you don't have the realms to heal yourself and heal the aspects that are meant for you to reach the ultimate connection of your truth twin flame. It just means that you're still on a path to nurturing an old traditional paradigm of existence until you're ready to enter into the new Schumann resonance of existence that has taken effect already a few years ago. And that resonance will only accept energies that accept all of existence, which is darkness and light. here. Six of Swords movement. I mean, for some people, they're being told to move away from their situation, or the situation that they're in. They're constantly on the move. And if you're on a divine path of knowing that you are walking in the highest form of their godly self, there is nothing that you have to fucking plan. You're in the highest form of vibration of self. Everything meant for you is literally flowing with you, and what you would need to interact with is determined by how you move, not by how you plan. Big difference with that. So there's success in knowing that having a little bit of the energies within this reading allows you to be privy of the next few cycles to come, to help push your own inner consciousness to see certain patterns in an old pattern and use them as a footmark, an end note, a blueprint for the new cycle that you can create at any moment of time. You can literally create this new cycle at any moment of time. Alright, so let's see how to harmonize. Like I said, the ego, you know, obsession. Oh, the devil energy. This proves to me a little bit the energy that if a Cancer is seeing that in their audience, they're actually envious of someone within their audience because this person is obsessively edgy, and is like obsessed with this energy because they actually are very, like, Cancer is very envious of this person in the crowd who's edgy. And in the world that the Cancer is indoctrinated to believe in, their God is making that person in the audience that looks edgy look like the devil energy. Yet this Cancer shows up to the reading of this devil energy and is moved, you know, because then the irony of this edgy person is that this edgy person is a tarot reader, can read energy, can be, if not maybe a little bit more powerful than this Cancer. And for Cancer's reality, this person is a threat, so they're obsessed by this threat. What they're not seeing is that because this person can read energy and is a better, more, well, not better, but more powerful than the Cancer energy, then that the Cancer is unaware that their higher self is asking Cancer to look at this higher level of what they think is quote unquote negative energy and learn from it. Learn to be obsessed with why the attraction of inner Cancer is that I am envious and I'm feeling a type of way. Because if Cancer were to do that, they would actually realize they're full of shit. They're full of bullshit. Because they would all of a sudden realize they're not fucking very Christic at all. The way that they admit to themselves their true nature of feelings that they have for other people, when that other person is maybe not exactly like them or worships faith like them, is actually Cancer that's very cynical. Sorry to be a bitch, but this is universal justice. Universal justice is about making sure that the inner inertia of the dialogue that you uphold within yourself makes sense to what you want to attract externally. It doesn't happen externally until the shit internally makes fucking sense. And there's energies that can read the internal shit that's going on with you. Not verbatim, but very fucking close. Because the highest aspects of the energies that make you draw reasonable conclusions are energies of matter. And they perpetuate vibrations out into this earthly realm that you don't know or don't need to care about whether it's flat or round. But the mere fact that you can either be in a community of Reiki practitioners and learn to just accept telecommunications, and then outside of that fucking room, you're being looked at with crazy eyes or be told that you need drugs because you want to further negate that telecommunications is real? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And I'm saying this because there's a Cancer in this reading somewhere. If it's 0.01% or 1,000%, I don't give a shit who this gets, how many likes I get for this reading. It will get to the telecommunications of the minds of Cancers without them ever having to watch this reading. If they're aware of trying to want to have a better relationship with their higher self that's in a relationship with all of ether. Cancer needs to humble themselves because all of ether is much more powerful and much more on a higher speed of knowing the exact plans and movements than the ego of Cancer. And if you're privy to this channel, you understand that the Devil series that I do is about addressing what the devil energy of tarot is. The devil energy of tarot is your ego that does not understand if it's of light or of darkness, so it wants to play a game. Whether you are an individual who signs away your soul and then becomes satanic, that's your own fucking personal choice, or sometimes you're born into this fucking disaster shit of a mess, and then have to wake up eventually that you actually carry the light of wisdom to obliterate all the darkness that is out there, because it only needs one tiny little lick of light to obliterate all of darkness. But if you just rub everything under the fucking rug, Cancer, and then pray your sins away, but you're actually not actively doing anything to maintain them to stay away, you're obsessing with yourself. Alright, let's see what the birthing situation is for Cancer. Birthing element, King of Swords, knowledge, beautiful. Alright. I like that because I operate with air magic. Alright, air is, it's just air magic. I'm just gonna leave it like that. And the air magic will be proof to the pudding that when you take a deep breath, you challenge the mind to reset itself. And you can learn this through meditation, the concept of daydreaming, astral traveling, giving your mind the mental break it needs is learning the power of the King of Swords energy. Because you are in control of giving yourself a mental break. You are in charge of giving yourself mental relaxation, mental therapy, battling with cognitive dissonance, battling with conspiracy theories and topics, battling with gender identity and character development issues, battling with relationship, whether it's unconditional love or soulmate, twin flame, whatever. You're in control of the narrative of how religious you are or anti-religious. You are in charge of what fucking color is your favorite and what you want to eat and when you're actually going to sit down and take a shit. You're in charge of all of those choices, not God, and not of the godly spirits that you have a connection with that make these choices for you. Absolutely not. That's the highest form of knowledge that you can take for yourself to understand, you actually create your destiny. Your destiny has not been paved out for you. Alright, let's see if we have anything else. Here. pull whatever is remaining. Whatever else wants to be said. Oh, wow. And these cards are already very slippery. Jesus. Alright. What else wants to be said? Knight of Cups. Like I said, Cancer, you have a natural rhythm of perpetuating unconditional love. Okay? You gravitate, like a lot of your wonderful parents, and the idea that your children love that you're emotionally available. Okay? Yet the fact that you're emotionally available does not negate the fact that another person outside of you shouldn't be emotionally available for you. And your kids actually teach you that, because you realize you're never going to get a compliment from your child. It's not their place to necessarily give you one, of how emotionally available you are for them. But that there should be an individual who sees the remarkable ways that you are who you are, based on what you take care of, how far your energy goes and gives and is given. That the person should be around you that says that they love you, give you what you give to your children. Without you having to plan for it, without you having to beg for it, without you having to schedule this shit. Like the fact that you think your choices are what keeps your twin in or keeps the soulmate in is your job. It's really not. Like, imagine if that pressure was put off of you. Like, what else would you entertain that energy with? Would you even know what to do with yourself if you were told to never do that again? Like, what would you do? I feel like you would be like so fucking lost. You've had to plan your vacations, your dates, your outings, your times together. Like, you were the man in the relationship, not gender specific. You were the man. You're chasing something, and this energy is never surrendering to you. This should make you question yourself as to what you're doing with this energy. Some of you are confused because Ether told you. Oh, I know about those fucking hustles, man. Ether told you to go trust this person. And then all of a sudden your ego's like, what the fuck though, Ether? Like, I followed your decision. I'm getting ringing in my ear. Like, I followed your decision, but this shit is like killing my ego. My ego is like hungry for something else, hungry for more. This is just not cutting it. This is not cutting it, Ether. And this is like the ultimate test from the Ether to see, well, we can align you with whatever the fuck we think is necessary for you. But if there are elements that we don't know are in the way to bring the highest form of existence for yourself at all times, then we also have to learn that, because we are not human. We are high vibrational light. The choices you necessarily make. So it's like saying and wishing upon God energy to get rid of war, and then fucking a week later there's like news after you've prayed for war to go away, we're in peace for 6 days, and the fucking war struck out. You're like, wait, did God even hear me? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why is that the pinnacle outcome? It's ambiguous. But the world operates very perfectly in this ambiguity. It's about being in the right state of mind, without knowing that right is just about righteousness. The Nine of Pentacles, all that energy that I was just talking about, learning how to ride the wave a bit more pridefully instead of pride, okay? There's an ego pride, and then there's being prideful of the achievements that you've gotten and how you've gotten here, and learning to have a better attitude with yourself and shaping this attitude and having a more refined, how can I say this, like refined acceptance that you can take a fucking break. Like things can come to you. Like things can come to you. You do not have to plan out everything. Like you do not have to be chased. You are on a divine path that is on a high vibration enough to be walked towards. You don't have to do much walking towards anything, because all that you're walking towards is towards more of the things that you want. I said earlier, the King of Wands is that Emperor energy, and then here is the Emperor. Right, it's that masculine energy that I said earlier, and she's like ambiguous, male, female, beautiful energy of it doesn't fucking matter who wears the pants, but Cancer is wearing the fucking pants, even if she's in a flowy, gorgeous dress. Like, she's wearing the pants in this connection, and it's not fair for the natural flow of you, Cancer. It's not fair for the natural flow of you. Even if you're a man, gender specific, it's not a natural flow for you to continue chasing an individual, because if the female is just an external vision point to how you're internally feeling, that person is not your rock. This person is a mirror for what it is that you're being. It's hard to explain, but I think you understand this. Alright. Lots of self-practice could be done here. Self-practice to kind of cleanse the masculine energy with this Cancer energy, to really bring some equilibrium to the feminine qualities that make the Emperor as well. Emperor might be a heavy, strong masculine energy, but to keep it erect is very feminine as well. Alright, so knowing that is knowing the true alpha energy that anyone, male or female, can bestow upon themselves and bring with fruition to themselves, because this is very passionate energy. This is the energy that I picked up earlier, and it wants to be more tamed and brought more solace to you. The Emperor wants to kind of relax and also sleep, get nap time in. They want to reap the rewards for what they've done and what they have accomplished, instead of handing out all the rewards to other people, because it's just extra fruits and labors that you can give off of, but it's what you produce. So having everyone just come and eat at your table while you make dinner, and not anyone like cleaning up after themselves or offering up, it gets too much for this Cancer to pay attention to, and then keep it also hidden. Like, that's the part where the energy is of the universal justice is going to ask you, are you going to say something? Because let there be a Virgo in the room of that dinner. A Virgo is going to be like, is anyone going to come and help out? They're going to set the space for showing up to an example. And that's like where you get a little bit envious. Like, you're a little bit envious of the Virgo energy out there, which is very strange, because the two of you actually have a lot more in common than you think. But it's the whose gods are we worshipping? That's actually really fucking funny. Alright, the Queen of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles becomes the Queen of Pentacles after they understand that all this obsessiveness to follow your money, to make sure your credit card is like in balance or paid off, that your debt is starting to get paid off, like that you could do your taxes, like all this paperwork shit. Being an adult, like you're really good at, you're good at the family structure of things, you're good at paying attention to the financial situation of home life, but that's not essentially your role. That's not your role. That's a role that you've just kind of accepted, but that's not the true nature of Cancer's role. That's not like your highest form of what you can offer and bring into a relationship. You have more to give. And once you understand that, you bring the quality of the Queen of Pentacles out, an understanding of the feminine energy that brings, that is the reason why the Emperor is so like impactful. Alright, let's get some closing messages for you. We have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. We have imagination. I embrace and nourish to create I can't speak. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. And we have adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Alright, I'm being told that's it. For you, Cancer, I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.